You my boy, celebrating lives with Lex G. Let's talk. Athi njela ndumkhondi yantyontyelwa. Athi maze yehlisa iyasengwa. Kaloku le nto ingumboni imnandi ngochubelana. Izane mawethu ibeleke. Layisha malayisha umthwalo ukwanele. Bukhuma ke chizama cincezo komlanjana mlowa.
Let's go live in here. Good afternoon and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the podcast. Let's talk. Let's go do it because we can. You may be wondering, we early, that's good. Guest Yam arrive at 2:17 for a 3 o'clock live. That is very commendable, I must say. Without wasting much of the time, ladies and gentlemen, my guest is here. My mom, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Thank you so much for risking making fool of yourself, for being here to take this dream to a next level. Without wasting much of the time, I'm here. My reason for bringing you here is simple. Is to celebrate you. I don't have a reason or time to go to your funeral and say,
Yes.
I'm trying to change the narrative. Sit him doing, man, you're good. You have changed my life for the better. Now we're sitting across each other. You were once in 1991. Right? Today I'm sitting you talking to you in English that you taught me.
Yes.
You should be proud of yourself.
I'm proud of myself.
You know what I mean? Yes. Now I'm sitting here and you were one of the people who never even think twice when I said I'm gonna open a podcast. Would you come? So you said anytime, my boy. Now we're here. This is all about say thank you for your life. For the integral part that we have played for today. This is all to say thank you. Right?
Yes.
61 Tangazala Street is Punzan. A couple of years ago, you were born there as a kid. How was the life over there?
The life over there was hectic, if I may say. Because there were many of us that were staying under the same roof. And I was staying with my cousins.
All right.
Because my mom was in Durban at that time. At school, training as a nurse.
All right.
So I was staying there with my cousin, and there were many of us.
All right.
So we were staying with my aunt. And his husband then. Both of them now have died. May their soul rest in peace. Yes. So life there was hectic because, as you know, that the environment that we were in, it's a location. So everything is here. Everything they do is here. We do. So that was it. But in our home, it was a home, a warm home, and a strict home. My aunt was very strict. So whatever we were doing, we knew what time we should come home. Yes. Yeah.
And not all primary school when they no sub A, no standard 1, no standard 2. EP, I'm asking this question because somebody who's watching now will say, and not in down so that one can be inspired and able to achieve more.
Nokolo Primary School is at Punzan. If anyone knows, there were shops there at Mkala. There were Mkala shop, small complex like Mkala. So as you go down the road, Nokolo was down the street, was the last school. There were 3 primary school and Nokolo was the last school, primary school there. It's Punzan.
One more, and then when they, before we go any further, when they is senior primary diploma yako. But before that, you went to primary school yako, a King's Mission. wagqiba wawelela ngaphesheya phaya
eJongilanga
eJongilanga. Then there was a transition, which is umuvile eziphunzana weziswa ezilalini uzokwenza. What was the reason yoba bakuthathe bakusise ezilalini, so to speak?
My mom, as I have mentioned, was going to school at Durban.
Okay.
So she had to take us to my aunt who was staying at Jongilanga then.
All right.
So my aunt had to find the school for us at King's Mission,
Okay.
because we were still young then.
All right.
We were still at primary level.
Now, I'm trying to find, you went to do a Khobusana, you're on the senior primary diploma yakho, specialized in maths and natural science.
Yes.
Did you choose that subject because you knew exactly what you wanted to do, or was it something that was offered at the time? As a youth and I'm trying to face a dilemma as to choose. With this, you knew exactly what you wanted to do.
I think the criteria there then was that you were given the subjects,
Right.
according to how did you pass
Okay.
the subjects.
All right.
So I think I did well in mathematics and natural science.
All right.
That's why I took that
I took
route.
that.
Yes.
Looking at your life now and then, you're not disappointed. You are not disappointed at all.
Not at
because
all.
it turned out right to be exactly
Not at
what
all.
it did. Great.
It's true that when they say that your steps are ordered by the Lord,
By the Lord.
because I didn't know at that time that choosing mathematics and natural science was gonna take me far,
All right.
as far as I am now.
The first time or the first year I met you was in 1991. I was doing standard 7. You were teaching us English, and
Yes.
now I'm sitting next to you, interviewing you in English. You should be proud of yourself, and at least I came out right. I want to believe.
Yes.
And how does this make you feel? It may not necessarily about me. A lot of us that came through your hands. I don't want you to be modest about this. We are the product. Yakho, sidlule kuwe. Looking at abantwana oba teacher becoming something. What does that, from a teacher's point of view, make you feel?
I feel so good.
All right.
It feels so good, and it feels so, you have that feeling of completeness, that feeling of saying, I think I've done my job.
Okay.
When you see someone you were teaching and he or she is somewhere doing even more than you can do,
Right.
you did, you feel so satisfied that you know what, I've done my job.
You've done your job.
I've done my job.
Ma'am, you have done more than your job. It's a pity the environment is Pilabo does not give you that opportunity to say thank you. Hence this interview. All of this is just to say, look at what you did.
Yes.
You did not make mistake. Thank you so much. You also did further your studies by doing a further diploma in education at the University of Pretoria. When the honors are at Northwest University. Why the need to do more studying? What was burning inside you to make you go and furthermore?
First of all, let me say I love reading.
Okay.
Reading is my hobby.
All right.
Before I furthered my studies, I used to buy a lot of books and read them. I read the books I took 3 days to read a book, and then I had to buy another one. So I said to myself, no man, I'm wasting my time here. Why don't I further my studies instead of let me do something about what I love, which is reading. So I decided to further my studies, and for that matter, I think I was now becoming matured.
All right.
as
Okay.
as to see what direction do I want to take
All right.
at that time. That's why I decided to further my studies.
More often than not, influence your mzali ibakhona emntaneni.
Yes.
I'm trying to link into about your mama was a nurse, and she's out, be that as it may, but she was a nurse. Then you become a teacher. I'm trying to find what attracted you to a teacher. Was there any mama's influence to that? Okay, you said, Mama, listen, you're right, Mama, a nurse. I just want to be a teacher.
We used to have conversations with my mom.
Okay.
When we were we were growing. So we used to ask her, and we used to see her when she goes to work. Awkward hours, and she would arrive in. She would go early hours of the morning and come home late. And I think then, remember, it was an apartheid era
then.
Yes. So my mom used to say to us, I don't think my kids, you should follow taking this route of choosing this career of a nurse, unless you have a passion for it and you loved it, because it's a lot of work and you have to sacrifice. You sacrifice your family, you sacrifice your time, you sacrifice everything just to become a nurse. Because you are not only a nurse when you arrive at hospital, you are not only a nurse, you do everything, because you want to see to it that the patient is well enough. So she used to say, if you are not passionate about taking this route, don't take it. That's why I said, and for that matter, as I was growing up, I used to fear the blood. So I said, no, nursing is not my life.
I'm not taking this, ma'am. It's good for you.
Yes, so I decided to take teaching. And remember then, there were no options other than a teaching career, nursing career, lawyer, or police. So I had to choose the teaching career.
Teaching career.
Yes.
Like exactly what is happening now. I'm sitting across the teacher that taught me. In school, there must have been one teacher who inspired you to do a teaching, or who was a teacher who inspired you, or a teacher who made you to be the better teacher. When you look back,
which school? Primary school, high school, or
if you have to squeeze it to one, who one will say, this person right here, okay, these teachers have played a role about, let me do better in being the teacher that I am?
I can mention only one teacher who I used to admire. It was Mr. Ampabek. Mr. Ampabek. I was at the college then. You know, I used to admire Mr. Ampabek. Mr. Ampabek was a teacher. He was a male teacher. He used to arrive early in class. And you could see that when he was teaching me mathematics. That's why I love mathematics now. You could see when...
And no figure early.
No figure early, yes. Because he taught me that you must be early. So you could see in his eyes when he's teaching you that he loves what he's doing. So I think I admire him a lot. And so I said, now one day I want to be that particular teacher.
Looking back now at teaching at this time, all right? And with your time when you're still coming up and new, what did you take in your era, all right, as a teacher, to the new generation of teachers? Because these are very different teachers than you were. You cannot blame them, but there's difference. If one can sit like this, I'm a new teacher, what would you tell him or her to take to his teaching career?
The love of kids. You must love the kids. Because before you can be able to do anything, there has to be a connection between you and your learners. So if you love them and they see that you love them, your learners will be able to connect with you. And what you say to them, they don't want to disappoint you. If you love your learners, they won't want to disappoint you in anything that you teach them. So show the love, show the respect, show the compassion of what you are doing to your learners.
My goodness, I hope they are listening, because we found that it's more about money these days than the love and the compassion. The transition from the mainstream teaching, as it were, to lecturing, what motivates? Because this is the core of this interview, because it's not so many a teacher move from the mainstream, God damn it, to lecture. Change the what you call? Nah.
It's a miracle.
And I said, this is why I should sit down with men. This is the core of this interview, because it's not so many, because it tishala all over the world.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But when you move, you didn't even also high school. You also
Primary.
Do you understand? And
Yes.
then you said, listen, and listen, and principal, nothing wrong about that. And I'm going to lecture the teachers. Talk to me. What motivated the transition?
The love of teaching, one.
Okay.
Secondly, I think it was God's plan.
All right.
For my life, because I applied so many posts that I applied in and went to many interviews, but I didn't get anything. Because I had that love for teaching. I didn't want to move from a basic education stream, because I love the kids.
All right.
That's first of all. So I just wanted to have a growth in my field.
Yeah.
But as I've applied and didn't get anything in post and all that, I decided, let me try some other avenues, So as I was busy improving myself, studying, furthering my studies, I was doing my master's in education at University of Fort Hare. So I found myself now that, as I was doing masters in education, I have not only have the love of kids, I think I love human beings.
Okay.
Not only, this is not based only on kids, but on people. As long as I connect with people, it's fine with me. I've got passion for that. So, to fast forward, I saw this post in was it social media? But I saw the post in a advertisement that they are looking at University of Fort Hare. They are looking for a lecturer in mathematics. Do you know what? Everything, the criteria, everything that they wanted there, I had it.
Fit your own description.
It fitted me.
Jesus.
Exactly. And you know what? I said to myself, let me just apply.
Let me try.
Yeah, let me try.
Let me try.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I just open my door anyway.
Yeah.
Let me try my and apply for this post. I applied. After 2 weeks, to my surprise, I got a call. Hi, are you Miss Qwesha? I said, yes, I'm Miss Qwesha. This is HR from University of Fort Hare. Are you going to be available for interviews on the such and such a date? I said, I couldn't understand what she was saying. I said, can you repeat yourself?
Are you talking to me?
Can you please? Are you talking to me? I said, yes. Are you Miss Qwesha? Yes. I said, yes. And she said, we want you for interviews on such and such a date. Are you going to be available? I said, yes, I am. Why not? I'm going to be there. So, to fast forward that, I went for interviews. I prepared for the interviews. In fact, for the preparation, I used to prepare for the post, that is HOD post, principal's post. It's a total different scenario altogether when you are preparing for a lecturing post, because in fact the systems of basic education and universities are totally different. So your preparation is different. So I had to prepare for that interview, and then I went to interview. I think there were almost 10 of them, professors and doctors. Professors and doctors. I was so nervous. I've never been so nervous in my life. But I think, when I'm nervous,
you tend to master it.
I tend to master. I think it's the strong character that I have. When I'm nervous, I tend to be more confident. So when I entered there, I said, morning, how are you? I said, morning, Miss Qwesha, how are you? You may have a seat. So the interview started. Every one of them asked me a question, and that I had to answer, and I answered all my questions. And then they said after that, now the interview is over. Thank you for availing yourself to us, and you will hear from us. I said, okay. Oh, one thing that they said, lastly, Ms. Qwesha, what would you say to us that can improve the education and the institution? I said to them, since I was dealing with their students when they are doing practice teaching at school, I said to them, please, when you teach your students, teach them to have a compassion for teaching itself, especially in mathematics. Your students, they lack confidence in teaching mathematics. So teach them there to have a confidence in teaching mathematics. In fact, give them mathematics so that they can enjoy mathematics, so that when they reach to the learners, they love mathematics, so that they transpire what they love to their learners. That was my last conversation in the interview. And then after 2 weeks, I got a call. They said that we have taken you.
I think the last question sold you.
Yes.
Where they say, advise us, and they look in your eyes and said, okay now. And
I said that confidently because it's the love that I have for mathematics, and I found that the students were lacking that compassion, that love for mathematics. It's not that they don't know mathematics, but they lack confidence to transpire what they know to the learners.
I think the next question goes to exactly to that, because I believe now we are teaching other teachers.
Yes.
What is one thing though you wish to instill to them, or you wish them to take to their life as a teacher, which I think somehow you did answer it, but there's one thing which is lacking, which is your answer basically. But
yes.
I want you to emphasize it again, that augurs around in whatever you do, that you want them to instill by their teaching life.
Learners are human beings.
Okay.
Learners are not objects. They are human beings who just need to be loved. Relationships matter more than anything. You must have relationships with your learners. Make your learners believe that they can.
Make your learners
believe that they can.
Oh my goodness.
Lastly, know your students as individuals. Because if you know your student as individual, they have that connection with you, that ma'am or my teacher loves me the way I am. He doesn't compare me with anyone else.
And ibonakele loo nto xa ungena apha awungena ngasithe office babatswine usekude phaa, because but they saw the passion and the love.
Yes.
If you were to write a letter to your 16-year-old ongowe, what would you emphasize on and why? Write a letter to your 16-year-old ongowe. When you were 16-year-olds, what would you emphasize on and why?
I would say it's easy. Just you are beautiful, intelligent individual. You've got this.
You got this.
You've got this. Love yourself and never give up.
Never give up. Man. Woo! You are a teacher by nature. You know, and you are also a runner, I believe.
Yes.
Right, and let's talk about that part. How did the idea of running get involved in your life? Because you've got a busy schedule, but you make it sound it's easy. How do you jungle the whole thing? How does the part of balega? I'm busy, but I'm gonna do also the running part.
I started my running in 2015.
Okay.
When I moved to Konobi.
All right.
It's gonna be a long story of another time. but I moved from East London to Kunubi in 2015. So that time I was exercising at Virgin Active in East London.
Okay.
So from Kunubi to Virgin Active, I thought that it was gonna cost me a lot to move from Kunubi to Virgin Active, and so I decided, oh man, let me just try this running thing. So I started with walking. I just started with walking every time I came back from work. I go for walks, and then I come back, and I found that no man, I think I love this.
Okay.
So I started walking and running. And then from walking and running, I decided to join 5-kilometer park runs on Saturdays.
Right.
So I used to run on Saturdays, 5 kilometers every Saturdays, up until that this running thing got into me. You know, running is addictive. It got into me because I've seen myself now registering for races. So I thought, no man, I love this thing. I love running, and more than it made me feel so good. You know, when you run, it's so painful, but after running, you feel so good. So I think I loved it for that purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
People sitting at home will find excuses. Wait, you're teaching, you study, you are also doing the athletics. How did you juggle that? Because this is an answer to somebody who say, but how did you do it? How did you do it?
Sacrifice.
Okay.
Make time.
All right.
We've got 24 hours. You've got 24 hours. Esinikiweyo wonke umuntu unikwe 24 hours. So it's up to you how you do what you do with your 24 hours or unique way. For an example, with my busy schedule, what I did, I woke up at 4:45, which is 4:45. Prepare for running. I go for run, maybe 5 kilometers or 7 kilometers, and then I come back. When I come back, I wash, I prepare to go to work. I go to work, I stayed at work for the whole day. After work, when I arrived at work, I prepare my lesson for following day for my work. Thereafter, I cook. After I've cooked, I have to now to eat dinner. After dinner, I wash, and then maybe at 8 o'clock, it's now that I'm saying now, I'm gonna study. So I started studying at 8 o'clock up until 11 o'clock. I slept at 11 o'clock every day, the time I was studying. At 11 o'clock, I sleep, and then I woke up again at 4:45, go for a run, same story. So that's my schedule.
So one have to buy time and just be disciplined.
You just have to buy time. Make time, and if you want something, you make time for it.
This world is Pilagulo does not treat women fairly. That's the fact. That is the fact that is there. What are the challenges you faced when, as a woman in this industry of education, you encountered, and how did you overcome them? Because you cannot sit here and say men and women are treated equally. That's totally not the case. How did you then, when I maneuver around the challenges that are faced by women in this industry of education?
You know, I think having the strong character that I have, I think the challenges in the education industry, I overlooked them because I told myself that if he can do it, I also can do it.
All right.
So it's a matter of telling yourself that he is a human being, he is an individual. If he can do it, I can do that.
Would you say that strength and that confidence, you take it from Mama?
I think I take the strength not exactly from my mom. I think I took the strength from my uncles.
All right.
I had 2 uncles.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
They had strong characters, they played the role of being father to us. So they had those strong characters. So they used to talk with us. They used to tell us about life itself. So I think I got that strong character from them.
In your bio, you talk not at all about Dada, right? He seems not featured in your story. Do we have to take that your mama was a single parent? If so, how did you feel his absence in your life?
Yes, my mom was a single parent.
Okay.
And I never felt my father's absence at all.
Right.
Because there were two of my uncles that were playing the role of a father figure in our lives. Remember, we were growing up with my cousins. So there were these two particular uncles that they were playing a role in our lives. So I never felt his absence in my life.
Was he absent still alive, or was he absent or no more?
He was absent still alive, and he was absent no more.
No more.
Yeah, but I never felt his absence.
All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it was not easy while you were pursuing your teacher's diploma at Qwesha because your mama was in prison for political activities. Do you care to share with us about this? Because in your tone, when you talk about her and not to take nursing, I did feel that a bit of a political background in her. What is the story there?
Yeah, my mom was a political activist.
Okay.
I think it emanates from that apartheid era, where they were experiencing some issues at work and also in the community at large. So she played a role in her community as a political activist. So back then they used to have meetings at our home. Yes, they used to have meetings, but we were not sure what meetings were all about. But we could see these people. They are talking here. They were writing up until midnight sometimes. So she was involved in political activities, and she had a passion for that.
Honest, they played a role, man, in our struggles and stuff. But stories. In your bio, you did not mention any other siblings other than you and Mama. Were you the only kid?
No, I'm not the only kid.
Okay.
There are 4 of us, and I am the elder one.
Okay.
Yes, and then there's someone, my sister. After me, and then 2 boys after my sister. So there are 4 of us, and also my cousins. I've got a lot of cousins. Yes, I've got a lot of cousins.
Are they still alive, or they still?
We are all alive. Thank God, we are all alive.
Is Mama still alive?
And successful. Yes, my mom is still alive.
Okay.
Yes,
okay then.
She's still alive.
Would you say the limitation or the lack thereof of post-education department sort of push you more to do more studying or teaching to get better opportunities outside the mainstream?
Yes.
Because they are very limited.
They are very limited, and we are not given. For an example, in basic education, was when you are they are post level 1, post level 2, and post level 3. There's a time in post level 1 where they give you they say you have reached the ceiling now. So we are no longer going to increase your salary if you are studying. So I've reached the ceiling in post level 1. So what they were doing now, they were just giving me a bonus to say thank you, just you have studied.
You have studied.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And remember that there are no posts for post level 2 and post level 3. They are very limited.
Would you advise for those who are left behind to take up, the route that you have taken?
Yes, I would. I would advise them to take other routes and see what could happen.
You are now pursuing studies for Doctor of Education,
Yes, of
PhD
course.
in Education.
Yes, of course.
What is the main objective you wish to achieve by being the Doctor of Education?
That's my dream.
Okay.
I just want to wear. You know, when I see myself wearing that red gown,
all right,
with that black velvet barret, I just shrink because that's my dream. That's where I want to go. More than that, I just want to be a doctor of mathematics.
Which are very few in
I just want to specialize in mathematics. As in masters, I was also specializing in mathematics, and also now that I'm doing my doctor in education, I'm also specializing in mathematics.
We will say we talk about this in this podcast one day.
Yes.
When you said you are, man, I'm proud of you, ma'am, and you're making us dream more than we do. To an ordinary teacher out there who's watching this now, and who have the ambitions to emulate your path, what would you say what would you say to her in particular? I single out her because very few of you guys out there who have got the courage to do this. I'm particularly about this question to her than to him, right? We want to emulate you. What would you grill in her mind to soldier on?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Keep pushing.
Oh man.
It's not easy.
Okay.
It will never be easy. But take one step at a time and never give up. That's what I'm gonna. Never give up on your dream.
It's not easy.
Never give up on your dream. It's not easy. It will never be easy. But take one step at a time and never give up.
Here you are, for that matter. For that matter, here you are.
Here I am. Here I am.
There must have been some sort of negative energy when you said to them, I want to go and study. How did you maneuver around that? What did those words make you feel strong? Because there must have been a band of careful level. And stuff, but how did you maneuver?
You know, when I was studying for my master's, there was particularly, let me mention this, particularly this one. There was one teacher who believed in me. That was Mrs. Kala.
Okay.
That's one individual who believed in me.
Oh, no matter.
Because she used to say to me, Zuki, you don't belong here. The way I see you and the way that I see you, you have passion for studying and all that, you don't belong here. And so she used to motivate me, even if I'm feeling down at times, it's not easy, and she used to motivate me that, no, you're going to get this girl.
Ma'am Kyla, thank you so much. We are here today because she pushed you to where you are today.
Yes.
Now as a teacher from 1991, if I may, till now, what has been the best moment of your teaching life? Where you say, thank you God, I didn't waste my time and energy in university for being the teacher. There must have been many, but what is one that stick in your mind as the best moment for being the teacher since then?
30 years of experience with my kids. 30 years of communicating with my kids. 30 years of loving my kids. 30 years of that compassion when you get inside the classroom and know that you are going to change someone's lives.
You know, the teachers of teacher they are very lucky. I so wish they're going to watch this and so wish they're going to phone up from you as much as we can, because to you it's nothing else but love.
Yes.
Love for the kids, more than anything. Know your kids individually.
Exactly.
And by knowing them individually, they will drawn to you.
To you.
My goodness me. What has teaching taught you as an individual?
Persevere.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Yes. Perseverance.
If you could write then a book about your life, I want you to think long and hard about this. If you could write a book about your life from as Punzana to the seat that you are sitting in now, to the office that you are sitting in, you got an office now in a class.
Yes,
You've got an
some
office.
office.
Let us just be honest. You've got an office now. I'm not class. I'm not trying to talk. Right? Let us not be modest about that. Writing a book about your life from as Punzana to this seat of Qwesha, to the office of Qwesha, what would be the title of that book and why?
There goes a girl. Dot.
There goes a girl.
Dot.
Why?
Because my life has not ended yet.
Has not ended yet.
It's still continuing.
Oh goodness me! There goes
a girl. Dot.
Because the life is still continuing.
It's still continuing.
I'm sitting with the intelligence in this room, right next to me. My goodness! The time you started studying and you are being here now. In that book of yours called "There Goes the Girl." What would you call this chapter of your life now? Sitting here in your office, looking at your life. Surely there were ups and downs, but the chapter now, this chapter you've started, all right, of your life now, in this book of yours, the title of the book, There Goes the Girl. Now, this chapter now, what would you call that chapter?
Sunrise.
Oh my goodness me. Cookie chapter Papa Gatebizo. Sunrise. Why sunrise?
It's the start of me.
The start of
I'm starting to
rise,
to arise now.
My goodness. There's more to come.
There's more to come.
Oh goodness me. Oh goodness me. Man, to your colleagues, ma'am, to whom you have left behind, what is the specific message for them?
I love them. I would say thank you to them for taking me the way I am, for allowing me to be the kind of person that I am.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's a saying, "Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu." I am here because of them. If they were not around me, I would not be where I am today. So I would say to them, thank you for loving me and embracing me and for loving the way I am.
I want us to name, not shame now, name them. Who is one teacher at that school? If you're not at that school, in anywhere, but a teacher whom you will say you are sleeping on him or her. He's a time bomb. He's a ticking time bomb that ready to explode. It might not be Qwesha Scholar Cycle, but somebody owed you. Let's watch this one.
There's a teacher I just met. I think it's been 2 years. I met her for 2 years. It's Mrs. Nozas.
Okay.
She has a passion. She has energy. You know, she's going too far. If she can just focus and have that time and give herself time to do it, she's going far, that one.
Oh, Papa boy.
She's at Qwesha Primary School. Yes.
I hope she's listening.
Yeah.
I hope she's listening. As a norm, show, right? Guessing this interview was quick, man. Qwesha, last guess it. She question for the next one.
Okay.
Fortunately, Mr. Foslacher was the last one. He left a question for you, and then I asked him how would the question how would you make sure to change the current education system so that learners or students can have the ability to sustain themselves? What would you make sure to change the current education system so that the learners or the student can have the ability to sustain themselves?
I would just say, give the learners what they want.
Give the learners
what they want. All what they want. Learners want to be loved, want the information, they want education. give the learners what they want.
Fundana is the producer, the one who making things happen here.
Yes.
I'm not going to let her not to say something or to ask. What is your question, Sura?
Well, in this interview, for the first time, I have no question because you have summed up everything. If you can say diamond sparkling, you were just sparkling right through. So if I were to ask a question, it's already here. You already answered my questions. Because I always have that main question or those main three questions, but you have answered me now. I'm just staring at you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What's your next question for our next guest? Masbang Bani, but what would be the question? For
I would say to your next guest, what is it that you see yourself in the next 5 years?
What is it that you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Yes.
Oh man. My last question for the show, for you, what is your intention as you were brought? Was this right? We tend to misunderstood abantu, right? But I want to hear it from you. I always ask this question. What is your intention? What is it that you do intentionally so that we can able to say, listen, this is me. What is your intention for being here on this earth?
Teach.
Boom.
Educate.
Boom.
Because if you educate, the world will change.
Man.
Educate.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Thank you.
My mom, I met you in 1991. You've always been the same person that you were. Always compliment us whenever you see us. Exactly like Mr. Star. Always, I knew I'll get a compliment from you. It shows the interview, the mother love, and you have changed to say, I love human
beings.
This is to celebrate you, to say, Enkosi Gobombako.
Thank you so
We
much.
are better today because our path have crossed. We wouldn't be who we are if we never cross you.
Yes.
May the greatest God of all time, Jehovah God that is, be with you. I'm scared, happily scared, that you're going to explode.
I am.
You have not exploded.
Watch the space.
You're going to rise.
I am rising.
The sunrise.
The sunrise.
You're going to sunrise.
That's my chapter.
You're going to rise.
Yes.
And in all of that, know that we are here and we appreciate you.
Thank
We
you
may
so
not
much.
say that often enough, but we're trying to change that narrative. To say, you're human. I see you. And goes. Rise up. Uqethe emafini. Ndiyayazi ke uzawuthi wodlula emafini uthoba isandla usicale sinyuke.
I will.
Enkosi ntombendala. This is all to say thank you. They may not say it, but ubulukhanya ukuthi khanya ke ntombendala.
Okay.
Nalapho uyakhona.
Thank you so much.
Kubulela nawe.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my goodness me.